はじめまして、オフィシャルリポーターの小坂美也子です。2011年ゴーナミノリは皆様により楽しんでいただけるような企画をたくさん盛り込み、皆様との距離がもっともっと近くなるように進化していきます。そしてその第一弾としてゴーナミノリ TV がスタート。サーフィンの魅力を一人でも多くの方に伝えていければと思っています。さあ、それでは記念すべき第1回目にふさわしい方々をご紹介しましょう。はい、それではご紹介しましょう。映画180サウスにご出演いただいているジェフジョンソンさんとキースマロイさんです。よろしくお願いします。She just introduced both of you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. まずはこの映画、この冒険のお話が決まった時に率直にどのように感じられましたか、思いましたか？
Yeah, well, Chris, the director is his brother, Chris Malloy, and he and I have been talking about this project for about 6 years, and I was just really excited for the project to happen, but I didn't know what my position would be in the project. And originally we had all these different people on the project, some professional climbers and professional surfers, and I was going to maybe be part of that, but also because I'm a photographer, I take pictures and write about it and all this stuff. And then at the last minute, Chris changed his mind and he said he wanted me to be the main character. And that was a real big surprise and kind of daunting for me. And because he said he didn't think it made sense to bring all these different people into the project that didn't know anything about it. And he said, this project is your dream, so this is the real story, is your story. And that happened just before we started the trip, so I became the main character really quickly, and that was really a surprise to me.
ではお二人にお伺いします。今回の冒険で一番心に残っているシーンは一つ挙げるとしたらどこですか？
Okay, for me, it would be climbing El Capitan, and for me, yeah, I'm not I do a little bit of climbing with Jeff, but just a little bit. So it was kind of an amazing opportunity to get to climb El Capitan, and it was very scary for me. So I definitely, for me, that part of the film was the biggest event for me. So I'll never forget it.
Well, for me, the trip was 6 months long, so it's really difficult for me to pick one aspect of the trip that I like the most. And in that 6 months, there's so much that happened, and a lot of it's not in the film. So there's a lot of things that that I really hold dear to my heart in that whole trip. But one of the main things that I really appreciated about the trip is being able to work on this project with my best friends, and we're all a pretty tight crew of people, and to be able to be down in Patagonia and work together on this and seeing the impact it had on everybody's lives, not just my own life, but everybody that worked on the film, was just a really great thing to see. Whether you were in the film, or whether you were filming, or whether you were the cook, or whether you were driving an equipment van, I could see how the area of Patagonia and this experience really affected everybody's life, and that was, to me, one of the most important things that I got out of it, what I was able to experience.
それでは映画の中でうまくいってる時は冒険じゃないんだよと、何かアクシデントが起きてこそ初めて冒険になるんだという名台詞がありましたけども、お二人普段冒険家として活躍されていると思いますが、今まで世界中旅された中で一番の冒険というのは、心に残っている冒険というのはありますか？
I was, yeah, it's funny, the same trip where I sailed from the Philippines down to Papua New Guinea, we had like 3 or 4 different things go wrong on the trip. And, we had a really bad storm we sailed through. We got boarded by not pirates, but people with guns that we weren't sure if they were going to take over the boat. And then at one point I got stranded away from the boat and had to paddle like a long distance in the dark. It was nighttime. But that's the thing about about trips, and at the time when they happen, it's terrible. But then years after, that's what you talk about, and that's what makes the trip so exciting. And I even remember during 180 South when the mast broke. At first, it was like, oh no, the trip is ruined. But sure enough, they found a way to continue the trip, and you know, it made it more exciting, really. So when it happens on the trip, you're never happy about it, but that's part of journeying somewhere, is you know, making it past the obstacles, and in the end, that's what you usually talk about. You know, this story.
For me, I did a trip a long time ago to, I was in Tahiti, an island off Tahiti, and I was on a boat surfing this one area, and we were anchored there, and there were some heavy winds and things going on, and then one night at around 10 o'clock, a storm hit, kind of a hurricane, and it was just devastating. And I thought, it was the first time in my life that I was scared for my life, thought I might die. And it ended up being the highest winds ever clocked in Tahiti. I think the winds were 150 miles an hour, and some people died and some boats were lost, and there was a bunch of damage on the island, and it was really scary, but it was kind of exciting at the same time. And but overall it wasn't some kind of thing that I really cherished, but in the long run it was kind of a good story, you know. But I think Yvonne is right. When the adventure begins, when something goes wrong. I remember being on the boat when the mast broke, and it was my watch, and I was sitting out there early in the morning, and I had adjusted the sails and stuff, and I was looking at the mast when it broke, and it was the most frightening thing. If anybody had been on deck when it happened, they would have died, and it took us 12 to 15 hours to get everything back on board, and it was a really heavy day and dangerous day. But when we were all done sitting down below deck, after it was done, we all kind of had a smile on our face, because it really felt, I'd already been on the boat for about 3 months at that point, and it really felt like the adventure began. It was kind of exciting to not really know what we're going to do now. And I love that in life, when you don't really know what's going to happen next. To me, that's when life is the most exciting, and that's when I'd been on the trip for a while, and that was when it really felt like we were on a trip or on an adventure, and that's really where it began, was when the mast broke.
ではお二人に伺います。この映画180サウスを通じて皆さんに伝えたいメッセージというのはどういうメッセージでしょうか。
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the movie. We really had an amazing time working on the film. Everybody working on it was good friends and are still good friends, and hopefully it inspires you to go travel and see the world. And yeah, there's no way of experiencing other places unless you go there and see it firsthand. And we were really thankful to be able to do this trip and make this movie, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, hopefully this, when you see this film, it'll encourage you to turn off your TV and close your laptop and go outside and enjoy the world, and that's what it's done for us, and hopefully it'll do it for you too. Thank you.
それではこちらの映画180サウスの情報はボーナビのリサイト内でも順次アップしていきますので、皆さん楽しみにしていてください。よろしく。